and are enjoying this new year. I guess it
Good
already,
evening, Vijay.
I guess it's already old, but still, as we are in January, we can consider it as a new year. So yeah, I'll I'll drop a link in the chat. You all can go to that link where you can answer this question. What is the one thing you would like to learn from this workshop? Alternatively, you can also scan the QR code that you can see on the screen. Too lazy to write. Okay. You could have written something in the place of too lazy to write. Not a compulsion. This is just to know what are your expectations from the workshop so that I'll try better to reach your expectations. Getting started. Yeah, surely. Okay, getting more expressive. Sure. I may learn some writing skills. Okay, I hope you will. Learn blogging. Sure. Be more engaging with my work. Okay. Measuring accuracy of content. What makes a core answer attractive? For example, I have seen many people write answer but they don't get views. But there are some who write few answers but get a lot of views. Okay. I didn't plan to cover this, but surely I'll answer this question. Too excited to hear the workshop concepts from Neeraj Bhaiya. So it's a question mark. Okay. Great, great. Uh, what are the new ones? Put the thoughts on paper that I think about society. Great. Much needed. Choosing what books to read for being better at writing. Okay. I'll also give some recommendations. Want to learn explaining more in less words. Great. Perfect. Okay. Now we also have some 34 people with us. Okay, so I hope, okay, there is one more entry. What's that? To get gist of good content. Okay. I will learn English vocabulary and sentence forming. Sorry, I won't be teaching English vocabulary and sentence forming, but I'll give you some tips on how to learn English vocabulary and sentence forming. Surely. Great. Let's get started. Okay. One more entry. Why should we express our thoughts? Very much. A good question. Let's move ahead. So in this workshop, I plan to introduce you all to writing, and I need not introduce to writing, but I'll give an intro about blog writing and other stuff. Uh, because anyway, you all must have been introduced to writing in your KG, kindergarten itself. And then I'll give you some basic tips, basics and tips for blogging. And then thought of putting up this discussion of the magic of writing. We all know writing, like we all have a limited perspective of writing, whereas there is a perspective for writing which helps you become happier, which helps you get a better clarity of thought. Uh, and writing can also help, like, work as a therapy. So I'll also talk about how writing can help as a therapy, and then I'll also leave you with the basics to start off in professional writing, whether it be a book or whether it be your professional blog, how to start off. I'll leave you with that. That's the flow for today's workshop. And about me, as Kshitish has already introduced, I am Neeraj Alavelli from currently in my final year in CSE IDD. And coming to my journey of writing, okay, my journey of writing started with learning the alphabet. Uh, I hope all of you started there itself. And then it continued with writing a lot of notes. I mean, the class notes. I hope you all also still continue to write notes. Even if you have stopped writing, still it's not a problem because you can get the PDFs anywhere. So, yeah, this part is common for everyone, right? Anyone in our IIT would have learned the alphabet, would have written notes at some point of their life. But those who are in this workshop must have something different. Like they must have some different interest of writing. It may be writing letters. It may be writing essays. Uh, you know, some interest you must be having, right? So I had this special interest in writing letters. That was the first thing, and then uh, from quite an young age, it was around my 10th. Like I mean, when I was 10, I started writing my diary. So these were two things that I used to write specially. Like things others won't do generally. And then I kept writing my diary. I also kept writing letters to my friends and family. Okay, when I came into engineering, that was a phase when we transit from coaching to, uh, you know, a completely new world where you have your wings. So that's when I thought of putting my coaching knowledge to use. Uh, Especially, we have there are resources available for maths, physics, and chemistry, but a very few resources are available on how to cope with coaching, how to cope with the exams and all this stuff. So I thought of writing on this stuff, on this topic, which is JE coaching in specific and schooling in general. So yeah, I found that Quora is a good place where a lot of JE aspirants are active. So I started writing on Quora in my first year of engineering. So yeah, that's where basically writing as a hobby started for me. Those who don't know about Quora, Quora is a place, basically a forum of question and answers. People can ask questions and send the question to some specific writer and ask them to answer the question and all this stuff. Initially, it was just question and answer, but later on, it evolved into a complete site with blogs, and now there are spaces and a lot of stuff. So yeah, and I used to write quite well, but as someone has asked, uh, what happens in Quora, why some people don't get the number of views, where some people with if very few answers get a lot of views. So this actually completely depends on the algorithm. So algorithm and also uh, there is a specific thing that I have observed in Quora, that if you put up a catchy image on the top of your answer, there is a very good chance of the blog of the answer going reaching more people. Whereas if you have just plain text, then there is a little lesser chance. And about me, my answers have never reached, like, they weren't like phenomenal, some 10k views, 20k views, not like, sorry, 10k upwards, 20k upwards, not those kind of answers. My answers were just decent, getting 80 upwards, 100 upwards, a few answers with 500 upwards, and one or two with 1000. So yeah, that was the my profile of answers. But in the end, what all matters in Quora to get the top rated recognition is the quality of your answers. So someone was asking about the reach and all this stuff. That's why I'm clarifying that it all depends on the quality of your content rather than your upvotes and all this stuff. Okay. So yeah, and after an year of writing on Quora, I felt kind of incomplete. It was just question and answer, and I don't have much of a freedom to express the thoughts. That's when I decided to shift to Medium. Medium is another site which we will discuss ahead, and still I continue to write on Medium on and off. And also, I'm working on like, I'm gradually working on a book. So that's my journey of writing. Okay, let's move ahead. One more question. Again, you can go to the same link which I have posted in the chat box. What all things do you write these days or type? Just a quick question, guys. Answer quickly. Only chatting. Notes nahi likh rahe, bro. Random thoughts as a means to talk to myself. Great. Mails. Yeah. Lessons learned. That's good. Be more subjective. You can find all the things that you write. You may write notes. You may write some, okay, about childhood experiences and some technical stuff that I know. Great. Express thoughts about my crush who doesn't give me attention. So you must be writing on those confession pages, right? Okay. Okay, a couple of more entries and we'll move ahead. Expectations from myself and also the ways to achieve that. Great. Short stories. Interesting. Okay, we have got those couple of entries, and okay. Not specifically, but I am in Lit Club, and there I used to write some lines and answering someone through Shayari type lines. Great. Human values assignments. Yeah, that's where all our creativity comes out. Okay, let's move ahead. Okay, these are the things people write. People used to write a lot of letters earlier, and people write books and fiction. Uh, People write pamphlets, notices, news articles, notes, diary and journals, essays, mails, messages, quotes, tweets, blogs. That's our topic of interest for today. And people write content for websites and content for advertising and all this stuff. And people write reviews, reflections. A lot more things. People write a lot of things, but today our focus will be on, uh, especially on blogs. And other than that, in the magic of writing, I'll also take up a diary and journals and letters. Yeah, so let's move ahead to the types of writing. So, as many of you have mentioned, some people write, like someone has mentioned, they write the things they want to achieve and the way they want to achieve it. So, this becomes private writing, right? You don't seek any validation, it's completely, personal and private. You just write it to yourself and keep it to yourself. That's a kind of writing where you won't, you need not edit it or you need not format it, you need not do any spell check. That's a way of writing which is personal and private writing. Whereas public writing, there is, uh, there is, there are some expectations from your audience. One thing is, it must be understandable. Whereas when it comes to your private writing, suppose you are writing your diary or writing your journal, you need not complete a sentence. You just need to write some three words which will make, it would be self understandable for you. Whereas when it comes to public writing, you need to take care that someone who reads this must understand this. That's the first point. And you need to structure it. You need to take care of engagement and entertainment, because we live in the era of millennials. So engagement and entertainment are a must in any kind of writing. And then you need to do fact checking, and also along with fact checking, you need to do spell check, grammar check, and all this stuff. And then we generally fall into this pursuit of perfection. It happens with all of us. And also, most of us seek validation for what we write. This is the difference, basic difference between public writing and personal writing. So, okay, we'll come to this later on. So, what is blogging? Blogging basically, is any kind of media, whether it be written or it is photography or any other media that is self published online. And blogging initially started, yeah, excuse me. So, blogging initially started as, some diary style entries. People used to share their own thoughts. Like many of you have written what you write these days. Many people share their thoughts. People are, they want to share what they have learned, what they think, and what are their opinion about the societies. People want to share. So one of the way to share is through writing, or, you know, through photography or some other media, videos, and all this stuff. So when this thing is self-published online, this is termed as a blog. And gradually these blogs have evolved into, into discussions and into informational websites. So Quora, Reddit, and all these places are places for discussion. And also, if you visit any website, suppose you visited the Yordos website, uh, which is uh, which is the professional online counseling services, which our institute provides to all for free. So yeah, if you have visited Yordos website, they have a blog where they put up their articles, they put up the updates and all this stuff, and they put up some, uh, activities, some surveys and all this stuff. So almost all businesses have informational blogs, uh, whether it be any kind of organizations as well. Most of the organizations have their blogs right now. So okay, let's first of all, see what are the basics of blogging. So to start off your blog, first of all, you need a topic on which you wish to write. So we can term it as the object of writing. And then you need to have a basic skill set, and you need to have some subjective knowledge of the object of writing. And then you will choose a platform where you want to publish it, and then you will take care of the outreach. So let's talk about each of these four basics first of all. So yeah, the object of writing. The object of your writing can be anything, ranging from your personal experiences to your, you know, maybe something like how to crack placements at IIT, how to crack gate, how to crack cat, and all this stuff. You know, you can make blog on anything, anything from technical to anything personal or anything subjective. You can make your blog. And one salient feature of blogs is that they are generally in the reverse chronological order. That like your most recent blog will be on the top. It's the general format that all the blogs follow, whereas some platforms also provide this option to pin some posts at top. It is also there. So the thing is, it's generally kind of an updating thing. It's not something that is, uh, static. It is more of a dynamic thing. You keep posting stuff, and people who are following your blog or who are your readers keep getting updates. So that's where the platform thing becomes a key. Otherwise, you can just put a static post or static text somewhere, and that becomes just an article. So yeah, let's talk about the four broad classifications of the object of writing. So it can be a personal blog. Most of the people have personal blogs where they just share their life experiences, some life lessons that they have learned, uh, and all this stuff, or their opinions, their thoughts on society, as someone has mentioned. And then there are technical blogs, where you can write, anything like how to how to cast mobile to your PC screen, or you can write technical stuff over there, or you can also write something like how to conquer uh, data structures and algorithms, anything like that. You can write something technical, which is knowledge based. Like it needs more of a fact check, and it also needs a lot more knowledge than personal blogs. Personal blogs, there won't be any fact check, there won't be a lot of knowledge needed, whereas when it comes to technical blogs, you need to have a good knowledge. And business blogs, which basically is a kind of content writing for websites, this will need a very subjective knowledge about all the technicalities of your own business. And generally they update about the offers, about the frequently asked questions and all this stuff. And then there are custom blogs, the travel blogs, fashion blogs, and food blogs, and all this stuff. These can be categorized together as custom blogs based on some specific interests. So Instagram is also a place where a lot of bloggers make their blog. If someone is a travel blogger, or someone is a food blogger, or even fashion blogger, Instagram is one of the best places to make your blog. Okay, before moving to the platform, let's talk about the skill set and knowledge that is generally needed. So, coming to the skill set, you need a language. You can write in Hindi, you can write in English, or any other language, or you can also mix languages. It's also possible depending on your audience. If they can understand multiple languages, then you can write in multiple languages. Not a problem. But the things you need to make sure that you have are a good vocabulary. You need not be Shashi Tharoor, but you need to have a good vocabulary. And then you need to maintain grammar, good grammar, and also you need to take care of introducing some phrases and idioms. This will just enhance your writing, right? And then the key thing for making a blog is storytelling and structuring. Otherwise, it will be difficult to understand for someone, and it will be difficult for them to read it through. If you design it as a story, or if you structure it well, then the readability of your blog increases significantly. And then comes creative thinking. This this creative thinking may not be necessary in all kinds of blogs, but most of the times, you are creating something new, so their creative thinking is needed. And then coming to the knowledge part, for knowledge, there are several ways that we get knowledge from. One thing is reading, listening, observing. We'll also discuss these three things in detail later in this session. And then you need to have a clear idea of facts versus opinions. What are facts and what are your opinions? You can't mix up them. The major threat is that we mix facts and opinions together and call them as facts. That is the threat. Whereas if you include facts in your opinions, there is no problem anyway. So, yeah, then this together will give you a good subjective knowledge, and that's a must for becoming a good blogger. You need to have subjective knowledge on whatever you are writing. So, yeah, coming to the platform, uh, Medium is one of the platforms. So, you can take a screenshot of this and you can find the best platform which suits you. Medium is a good platform which provides all the features needed for a good writing experience. But there are a few things about Medium. On Medium, one thing that happens is if you want to monetize the blog, then it will be classified as a member only blog. And those who don't have the membership may not be able to read your blog. So there are a few things about Medium which may be of concern to you. But if you are not wishing to monetize, then it's completely fine. And coming to WordPress, WordPress is a free to write space and free to read space as well. WordPress is, best for diary style blogs where you keep updating about your life, uh, just, uh, just like without much of editing, without much formatting and all this stuff. And Quora is a place for question and answers in specific, whereas it also has space for blogs and all this stuff. Whereas Quora is mainly known for the question and answer stuff. And also there is some other thing called Reddit, which is more known for discussions. And then we have Blogspot and Blogger, which are one of the which are two of the oldest blogging platforms. You can also try them out. They have their own pros and they have a lot of cons as well. And Instagram, if you are thinking to have a food blog, fashion blog, or a travel blog, then Instagram is the best place. And then you can also have your blog as your own website. You can host your own website and put your entries there. This is also a possibility. And to have your own website, you can also choose a paid site on WordPress. WordPress will provide you a site without their domain. Like you'll get your own domain name. So these are a few platforms among which you can think of. And then coming to the outreach part, there are two ways. One is organic reach, just like you post it somewhere on Medium or Quora. The platform will provide you with a little reach. If your blog is doing well, based on their algorithm, if your blog is doing well, they will show it to more people. I hope all of you know about Instagram and the algorithm it follows. All the platforms has have some similar algorithm, not so strict as Instagram, but they have an algorithm. So if if you share among your friends, you send it on message or you put it as your status, you post on Facebook, Instagram. That way you can get a decent amount of reach based on your network, the number of friends you have, the number of contacts you have. And then you can also get a boosted reach. The thing, if you are planning to monetize on your blog, only then someone will go for boosting the reach. uh, Like you can run ads on Instagram or Facebook or any other place. You can run Google ads as well, and also you can hire people to market your blog to get more reach for your blog. This is also a possibility. Okay, a lot has come from my side. So before we move to the tips to improve your blog writing, let's get to this question. What are some benefits of writing that you can think of? You all can take some breathing space and you can answer this question. You can think of the best benefits. You can put all your thinking and find out the benefits of writing, how writing can help you, which you have experienced yourself. All right, it's on the same link. Great. There are quite a few benefits that you all have listed out. It's an excellent hobby. It increases thoughtfulness and reduces stress. Maybe depends on the kind of writing you are doing. And then sometimes that lasts something that lasts and can be remembered again. Surely it increases interaction among friends and others. Maybe, yeah, possible. It's a way to consciously evaluate our actions. Yeah, perfect. Mm, yeah, it relaxes mind. Yeah, it depends on the kind of writing you are doing. Make us more expressive. Yeah, surely. It can be good earning resource. Yeah, if monetized. Yeah. Why this question mark is printed? I guess some error. Maybe. Okay. Are more answers coming my way? All right. So let me discuss a few benefits that would help you from writing. So yeah, let's get a bit. informal here. It's not technical knowledge that I'm sharing right now. So, one magic about writing is from writing letters. Okay, now I want to see how many of you have written, like, informal letters in their life. You can raise your hands to your parents, to some friends, your grandparents. Okay, we have two people along with me. Just two. I hope most more people would have written. Okay, how many people have written informal letters in exams? In their English exam or Hindi exam somewhere? Great, great. A lot of people have written. So, okay, guys. Today I'll leave you with this that you know try writing a letter. A short one need not be pages long, but try to write a letter to someone old, like some grandparents or grand uncles, anyone you share a fond relationship in your childhood. You may try to write a letter, and then you will find out the magic of writing letters. Our generation is completely deprived of this magic, really. So I'll tell you, I have observed that earlier, not in our generation, but a generation ago, people used to write love letters. So these love letters actually, evaluated all their thoughts. They used to bring their best thoughts about the other person to the paper, and this actually deepened the bond with the person, because in writing there is a lot of contemplation involved. You contemplate a lot about the other person. You eulogize about them. So this actually deepens the bond. And then breakups were not as trivial as our generation, but still, if a breakup happens, people used to let out the pain and let out all the trauma through writing, through poetry, and sometimes through unsent letters. They used to write a lot of things, a long letter, but they used to never post it. So you all can try this if you are into some relationship, whether it is going well or going rough, or it has unfortunately broken. You can try this. If it's going well, write them a letter, maybe a gratitude letter. You can mention all the things that you are grateful about your relationship. Or if it is going a bit rough, then you can write about all the good things that have happened in your relationship. And then if it has unfortunately broken, then you can write again. You can write a letter with all the things that good things that have happened, and some misfortune happenings which caused the breakage of the relationship. And if your connections are still fine, then you can send them. Otherwise, you can keep it to yourself. You need not send it to anyone. So that's the task. If not in a relationship, it may be to your parents, grandparents, granduncles, anyone. Write down a letter. If possible, post it. If not possible, keep it to yourself. All of you can make a note to do this. Okay, guys? And you will find the experience to yourself. Like, you will experience the benefits to yourself. As many of you have pointed out, writing a letter would reduce stress, it would relax your mind, it will enhance your relationships, and also it will make you happier. You can try this to yourself. Okay, this is one thing about the letters. Whereas there is another thing called free writing. As I have initially, distinguished between the two kinds of writing, private writing and public writing. So, free writing comes under private writing, where just people term it in different ways. Some people call it morning pages, where they specify a number of pages, whether it be 3 pages, 4 pages, or 5 pages, and every day, just after they wake up, they write 3 pages about all the thoughts, all the, like, how they are feeling today, how's the morning, how was their sleep and all this stuff. They just write this, they just keep writing, maybe even redundantly. They just go with the flow of mind, whatever is flowing in the mind, they just keep writing. This technique is called free writing, or some people call it morning pages if they do it in the morning. So yeah, you can also try this thing called morning pages. You may take up 1 page, 2 page, whatever you feel is comfortable. Since these things are not mentioned in the presentation, I am putting them in the chat. A similar variant of this morning pages is called journaling. So again, journaling is the same thing that you put your thoughts, whereas in journaling focus on something. There are variations of journaling like gratitude journaling, habit journaling, or growth journaling. So it, I'll just explain these three examples, these three variants of journaling. So gratitude journaling is basically writing 3 to 5 things that you are grateful for. You just reflect on your previous day, and you find out 3 things or 3 people you are grateful for and write about them. And then habit journaling is when you are trying to build a habit. So what you will do is you will write down how your habit has went, like how it went yesterday, and then if it
Hello,
went well.
Bhaiya.
Yeah, Chandra Prakash.
Can you repeat again the journaling again from the start?
From the start, okay. So okay, so journaling basically is writing your own thoughts. It will be private to yourself, and there are a few variants of journaling. Journaling is just like the newspaper. In newspaper, people put journals about some happenings or some events, right? In the similar way, your personal journal will be about your own life. Uh, a few variants of journals are gratitude journal, and then there is growth journal, and there are habit journal. So I was talking about gratitude journal, where gratitude basically means, in Hindi it means krutagnyata. uh, I don't know it's Hindi or Sanskrit. It is so it is basically krutagnyata, which is basically remembering, sorry, reflecting, remembering, and reciprocating for the things you are thankful for. If someone does good to you, saying thanks to them and being thankful is just a courtesy. Whereas gratitude is the completion of thankfulness. You also reciprocate to what they have done. So this gratitude journal basically reminds you of all the things that you are grateful for. You reflect on your previous day every morning. You will open your gratitude journal and you reflect on your previous day and find out 3 to 5 things which you are grateful for. It may be like your mom has prepared your favorite dish, so you can write that I'm grateful to my mom for making this so and so dish for me. And then you have gone to a supermarket and a staff member there was very cordial to you. They have helped you with finding things. Then you can be grateful to them also. You can write down that I am grateful to so and so person for being courteous to me. So these are these are just examples. It can be more significant things, or it may be less significant things, whatever it may be. You just need to find out at least 3 things, right? Like you will specify a number and try to find out these 3 things. It's not like आज नहीं मिला तो आज छोड़ देते, ऐसा नहीं करना है. You need to specify a number and do it every day. Okay, I think I am overemphasizing and we are short of time. So yeah, that's about gratitude journaling. And then there is habit journal, where You will track your progress in that specific habit, and also you will write down what are the things that have helped you, and what were the obstacles in performing the specific ritual. Suppose you have resolved to develop the habit of meditation. First day you could do meditation, then you will write down what were the things that went well. You had free time, you had a specific place to do meditation, and then second day also went well. Third day, suppose you couldn't do, then you will write down why you couldn't do meditation, what were the factors that obstructed you. So this is called habit journaling. And then there is something called growth journaling, where people track their growth. Growth generally is about learning and developing skills, so people journal about it, how they are progressing. So these are a few variants of journaling. I am not taking a seminar on journaling here, so I just want to let you know that this technique of journaling will help you to get to get a complete clarity of thoughts. You will streamline your thoughts, and you can declutter your mind of all the toxic thoughts and all this stuff. So these are a few techniques that you can try: free writing or morning pages and journaling. And I also have told you about the magic of writing letters. So this was the short discussion on magic of writing that we wanted to include in today's workshop. So let's move ahead into blogging. Okay, coming to the tips to improve your blog writing. This can be taken to any kind of writing, but in specific about blog writing, the first and foremost thing is keep learning. Learning doesn't only mean about the technical learning. Pardon me. All right. So keep learning. As I have already mentioned, you can learn through reading, listening, observing, and also through experimenting. So a good blogger keeps learning. So keep reading good books, keep listening to good people, good podcasts. There may be a lot of people in your circle who have better knowledge than you in the topic you want to write. So you can associate with them, you can listen to them, and you can increase your knowledge on the specific topic that you want to write. And also observe, especially if you are what you are writing is a personal blog, then observing life is a key ingredient. That is where you get your inspiration to write. So one technique to observe is called silent observation. Every day for 5 to 10 minutes you just sit down, preferably in an outdoor location, maybe a park, or some in Varanasi we can sit in ghats or someplace, or LC somewhere. uh, First years may not know what is LC and all this stuff, but still you will come to know when you will be on campus. So you can sit somewhere and just observe, whether it be the things happening around or things happening inside you. You can just observe, and without any judgment. You should not judge that this is good, this is bad. You should just keep observing how things are happening. You just streamline your thoughts, and you just acknowledge all the thoughts that are coming to you. This is a way to get your inspiration for writing, or the object of your writing. We can generally get from observing events that are happening around. Okay, these are a few ways to keep learning. Moving ahead, be consistent in writing. Keep a fixed pattern of writing. You can have a weekly blog or monthly blog, something uh, based on your own convenience, but be consistent. If you think to write every month, then you must write every month. Consistency creates competence. I read this quote yesterday on LinkedIn. So, your first piece of writing may not be the super hit. Whereas if you keep writing, your 100th piece of writing will surely be better than your first piece. Still, the 100th piece may not be a super hit, but it will be better than your first piece of writing. So that's how consistency helps. Consistency creates competence. And then be authentic. While learning, we read a lot of books, listen to a lot of people, and more often we are tempted to get their style. We are tempted to imitate their style. But take care to be authentic. Be yourself. Put your own thoughts. Don't bring thoughts of others. Also, especially don't mimic their thoughts. Don't show their thoughts as yours. This is even more fatal. So be authentic, express your own thoughts. Don't for maybe people may be interested in impressing their audience, but stay authentic. Your audience will stay to the authentic self. Suppose today you have mimicked something, you have stole a few lines from a well-known author, and maybe 100 people have liked it, but the other day you can't steal from the same author, or you can't you know use the same resources again, and then you will use something else from someone else, and these audience may not like it. So be authentic. Authenticity will give you longevity. You will go you will generate a lot of content if you can be authentic. And this is also a quote I read recently, which is, inauthenticity lacks longevity. If you are inauthentic, you are stealing from someone else or imitating someone's style, then you won't go long. You will end up, you will end up somewhere soon. This is actually the fourth tip. So get feedback. Feedback is the key, for growth, and feedback is the breakfast of champions. Always be open to criticism. You need to take criticism positively, because most of the people in our generation don't know how to give feedback. They just, they just point out all the flaws of your writing. This may most of the times dishearten you, but you need to be positive while taking the feedback, and you must actively take feedback. You must ask your friends to give suggestions, give feedback on your writing, and you must do this actively. That's the way to, you know grow. That's the way to get better in writing. Okay, so moving ahead, also make sure to include images, include statistics, and include numbers in your writing. This is the way to engage people. And then the sixth tip is conclude with a call for action. After writing a lot of content, if you don't leave with a call for action, then people may not remember, or there won't be the impact of your writing. Whereas after writing your own thoughts, if you leave them with a call for action, then there is a good chance that people will act upon it, and there will be impact on their lives, and they will also remember what you have written. So always make sure to conclude with a call for action. And then these are a few technical tips for writing. The one thing is maintaining vocabulary. You know, people who start to write generally try to involve more adjectives, and get try to use some rare words. This is fine when you are writing a blog for helping your readers increase their vocabulary. But if it is not the case, if you are just writing for the matter of the content, then make sure that your vocabulary is at the level of your readers. If you are writing for a highly educated and highly professional people, then your vocabulary must be professional. Whereas if you are writing for general audience, if you are writing for maybe it may be read by your family members, your uncles, your aunts, your general friends, then you need not have high end vocabulary. You can just go with the normal vocabulary, and you may include some 4 to 5 new words in your writing. Don't go for more than 4 to 5 words, because people won't won't really love to find more new words in a piece of writing. And then the headline matters a lot. 9 out of 10 people who open the blog will read your headline, but only 3 out of 10 people will read the complete content. That's why the headlines and the headings, the side headings, that what we call, or the subtopics, those are very crucial. They must be in a way that they will intrigue the audience to read the content. And then we come to the rule of threes. This rule of threes is an interesting thing. It is involved in photography, it is involved in making presentations, and it is involved in a lot of art. And when it comes to blogging, rule of three translates to limiting your paragraphs to 3 sentences. What we generally do is we club a lot of sentences into a paragraph and make the paragraph look big. This is a common mistake many beginners do. Make sure that you don't go for more than 3 sentences in a paragraph. Keep your paragraph short. That is how you engage your audience. And then formatting and readability. This is the key. This is the key and the most important aspect of your writing. If you plainly write all this stuff, there is a low chance that someone will go through it. Whereas if you format it well, you have the paragraph breaks, you have bullet points, and you have some captions, you have some quotes. And if you format it all beautifully, then there is a better chance that your audience will have a great reading experience. So these are 4 reading tips that I am leaving you with. Uh, and I thought of having a practical exercise, whereas as the time doesn't permit us, I'm skipping this for now. That's it from my side. Thank you all for staying till the end, and open for any queries and questions. The chat box is open, and if you have some queries or questions, you can put those questions there. Also, someone has asked about increasing views on their Quora answers. As I already told you, it all depends on the algorithm of Quora. There are a few controllables in our hand, which you can influence. One thing is putting your answer brief and short, adding some humor if possible. Other than that, the more important thing right now, based on the current algorithm, is having a relevant picture which will intrigue the audience. Pooja is asking, do we have some more workshops on writing skills? No, I don't think we have any more right now. Okay. Any more questions and queries? Okay, I think I have missed this thing about launching yourself as a professional writer. So briefly, I'll cover it. Uh, yeah. So to become a professional writer, the ways we have are, you can you can monetize your blog, you can become a content writer, you can also write a book and publish it. So for the first option, which is monetizing your blog, first of all you need to get the reach. You need to boost your reach through ads and all this stuff. You when you get your reach, then you can do a lot of stuff to monetize it. You can go for affiliate marketing, or you can run some other ads on your blog. And there are many ways to monetize your blog. That is a way to earn and become a professional writer. People do it. And then the second thing is content writing for websites. A lot of startups and a lot of companies, they hire writers just to complete their website. You just enhance the content on their website, and they will pay you nominally. You can find the opportunities on LinkedIn. If you if you can present yourself as a freelance writer, or a content writer, you may get those opportunities to do content writing. And coming to book, if you are just thinking of some fiction book or something, or you just want to write a book but you are not serious about it, there are platforms like Wattpad where you can publish your books for free. uh, you know Only the digital versions. And there are other platforms also. Wattpad is one of those. And if you want to do it seriously, you want to get your book published in a physical form, then I can just leave you with a simple technique, which is learn, launch, and love. These are for any big goal, whether it be writing a book or launching a podcast or say anything, whatever it may be, any big goal. You can plan it this way that 1 year you will learn about it. You will gather all the knowledge required for the book, and you will develop your writing skills. And then the next year you will launch your book. Launching a book has a lot of things to do. You need to contact publishers, you need to market for your book, and you need to, if you have a good publisher, then they will take care of the distribution. Otherwise you'll also have to take care of distribution. And then the third part will be loving your product. Even after launching your book, you will need to love your book. Like, you may need to do some seminars, you may need to promote your book and all this stuff. This is the format for doing anything big: learn, launch, and love. So suppose you want to write a book in 2024, then 2023 will be the year of learning. You will you will gather all the resources, and you learn all the stuff required for your book. That will happen in 2023. And then in 2024 you will launch your book. And ahead of 2024 you'll just keep some consistent efforts in helping your book do well. And to write your book, you can use Evernote, or you can use MS Word and anything like that, for that matter. Evernote or some other note making application will help you organize your book well. Yeah, that's about becoming a professional writer. We have a couple of more questions here. How can I increase my vocabulary for writing? Some specific tips. Surely, Pooja, the one best way for increasing your vocabulary is not reading the dictionary but reading a lot of books, especially a few authors who use good vocabulary. People think that by reading dictionary they may develop their vocabulary, but it doesn't happen that way. You can still, you can develop your vocabulary by learning new words. That is a possibility, but the best way would be by reading books with good vocabulary. So I'll leave you with those suggestions. The best way is reading good books. So among Indian authors, I will suggest you a book named Wisdom from the Ramayana by an author named Chaitanya Charan. So the specific thing about this book is that the content of the book is really amazing. Also, the author has used profound words to express his thoughts. It's not that he just used difficult words, new words, rare words wherever possible, but he used the words very sparingly. If you read this book, you will understand how you should use your vocabulary, and also you will get to learn a lot of words in this book. So I am writing only one suggestion here, but there are a lot of more books which will help you in developing your vocabulary. And if you are going to write in fiction, then you need to read more of fiction books. Avoid Chetan Bhagat. He doesn't use great words, but you can read many other authors. You can read Dan Brown. You can read Khaled Hosseini, or you can read Paulo Coelho. I'll also write all of these down. These are what I have dropped in the chat box right now are a few authors who write in fiction, and you can get a good vocabulary base for writing in fiction from these books. And the other way is by learning new words. Learning new words, you can have, like, we have a lot of applications right now. One application I use is this one, nudge.me, in which there are customized courses. They will send you notification with a new word, and also they will send it again as a revision. So you can try this application called nudge.me. Okay, these are my recommendations for increasing your vocabulary. Chandraprakash has asked for my address. I'll share it with you, Chandraprakash, surely. Uh, okay. Any other questions? Otherwise, Kshitij, it is up to you.
Yeah,
No,
thank you,
bhaiya,
Via,
no
for
question.
such a okay. Yeah, thank you, Via, for such a wonderful workshop, and we will definitely try to put all the tips that you gave today and the resources you told. It will prove helpful for all of us in the long run. And one quote to take with us: authenticity gives longevity. Right. So again, thanks to the audience as well for keeping cool till now. So I think now I'm stopping the recording.
Okay. So yeah, I'll